know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with a Marvel Legends update. So this past weekend was MCM London, and I had a quickie update that went up last night discussing some of the reveals from that event. But I wanted to speak in a bit more detail about the two waves that just went up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store, and they are the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure wave and the Super SKrull Build-A-Figure wave. Both of those Build-A-Figures were revealed at MCM London this past weekend. So I just want to go over the figures in the wave, the case assortments, and talk a little bit and give you an idea of some things that are going to pop up on my channel in the coming days. So discussing the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure wave first. This is a 6-figure wave. You're going to need all 6 figures to complete the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. These these figures were rolled out or revealed over 3 events over the past few months. So the 2 PS4 Spider-Man characters, Shang-Chi and Vulture, were all revealed at SDCC 2019, and then Superior Doc Ock and White Rabbit were revealed in Mexico at the Unboxing Toy Convention. And then just this past weekend we saw the reveal of the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. So Velocity Suit Spider-Man looks like his packaging will have the Gamerverse imprint, and it looks like he's packed in with one of the legs to complete the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. Can't quite tell if it's the left or the right just yet. And then he has some sort of circular webbing effect, which could be cool. Looks like you may be able to wrap up some enemies or some burglars or what have you with that. So it's a pretty cool effect, but honestly I'm just not a fan of this particular skin or this particular design, and I think they could have saved these Gamerverse characters for Walgreens exclusives or GameStop exclusives. I think it's a wasted slot in a wave for a Build-A-Figure. Same deal here with the Spider Armor Mark III figure, Gamerverse imprint on the packaging. He too is packed in with one of the legs to complete the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure, and he also has a little effect, some sort of webbing effect. Not sure if that's something directly from the game or not, but I am kind of intrigued by these effects, and obviously they will go well with other Spider-Man figures. But again, a character that I don't really care about and that they could have left out of this this wave in my opinion. Superior Octopus or Superior Doc Ock. This one I do care about. The initial Superior Spider-Man comic book story was pretty cool. I still do think that we need an updated Superior Spider-Man. They didn't really nail it with that first release, and we absolutely need a better Superior Venom, which I doubt we'll get. The one that was released was just hot garbage, no question about it. So looks like the only accessories with Superior Doc Ock are his appendages, his mechanical tentacles, and it looks like they're not going to be mobile. They're not going to be able to move, no bendy wire or anything. So I can see a lot of people kit bashing this guy, similar to what was done with Doc Ock, and making it where the tentacles can be maneuvered. So one I am looking forward to, but still leaves a little bit to be desired. White Rabbit, I must admit I'm not really familiar with the character, or at least I don't really remember her. I do feel like it is an old school sort of B or C list character, but I can see a lot of kit bashing opportunities with this figure. The boots, you know, the body with this sort of sexy outfit. Maybe if you remove the arms in the code and put bare arms on her, swap out the head, you know, a lot of different possibilities with her. She is packed in with the glider for the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure, and it looks like Hasbro has finally borrowed something from Star Wars Black Series. This looks like the little flight stand that was packed in with the Biker Scout figures. So, you know, oftentimes we joke a lot, especially on the podcast, about the fact that Hasbro needs to share tips and tricks and tactics and parts between Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series. For whatever reason, they kind of stray away from doing that. So I'm looking forward to this figure, even though I'm not really too familiar with the character. I ain't looking that shit up, and I'll look her up when it's time to review the figure. Even that little accessory with her umbrella, I guess, that has that little bullet flare effect at the front. Hopefully that's removable, and that may be something that can be utilized for other figures with weapons with guns. Shang-Chi looks like he's going to be one of the stars of the wave. A lot packed in that box, including the entire torso to complete the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. Looks like they repurposed all of the hands that we've got originally with that white suit Iron Fist some years back, and I'm pretty interested to mess around with this guy. Looks like it's going to be great articulation. It's a good head sculpt. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a few different versions of Shang-Chi. Hopefully we'll get a version of him clothed. I'm not mad at this version though. This is sort of like a classic look, but I'd like to see him with the Chinese slippers and one of the more modern outfits as well. And I'm interested to see what the Shang-Chi movie and the Mandarin being the villain will have in store for us. Last regular figure in the wave, and certainly not least, is a classic Vulture, who's going to be packed in with the head to complete the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. And surprisingly, he is packed in with another Vulture head, representing the younger version of Vulture. This was a surprise that was revealed just yesterday when they released the in-packaged images of the wave. So this is going to be one that is highly sought after. Classic Spider-Man villains always go up on the secondary market. We are getting very close to completing our classic Sinister Six, so I would not snooze on this figure once he shows up at retail. Aside from that, no real accessories in the package, just the additional head. And still, this is one that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to. And with those 6 figures, you will be able to complete the 7th figure in the wave, which is the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. I am looking forward to this figure, although I'm just not really pleased that it ended up being a Build-A-Figure. I think this could have been a regular release in the line, and they could have went with a larger Spider-Man villain that deserves a Build-A-Figure. Still pretty fitting that we get Demogoblin. You know, we've got Hobgoblin, we've got Green Goblin, we gotta finish out the trifecta of goblins. This actually reminds me of the Infinity War saga or Infinity Gauntlet, I forget which one it was, but Demogoblin actually kind of kicked off that event in the pages of Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, moving on to the Super SKrull Build-A-Figure wave. We got notice that we would be getting a Savage She-Hulk and a Dr. Doom figure at San Diego Comic-Con earlier this year, and then earlier this month at New York Comic-Con we got word that we would get another complete set of the Fantastic Four and their Dan Slott uniforms. Side note, but related, these costumes are comic accurate. I mentioned this in another video, but Fantastic Four had showed up in the first issue of the House of X story arc sporting these costumes, so I'm excited to get them and do some modern things. I cannot stress to you guys enough how wonderful that story was with all of the layers and all of the details. It was just really exciting, probably one of my top 3 X-Men stories of all time. So Powers of X and House of X, the story ran through both of those books. You guys should definitely check that out. I'm digging the way the packaging looks, but Mr. Fantastic's packaging looks a little empty, like he could have had some more accessories in there. Upon further inspection, you can see he's packed in with one of the legs to complete the Super SKrull. Looks like it might be the right leg. And then he's got these interchangeable hands that have these elongated fingers that look really weird. I'm not feeling that at all, no pun intended. And the other thing I don't like about this this figure is the way the feet look. They could have just did flat feet. I don't really like the sort of textured or Timberland shoe boot things he's got going on. I don't know what that's about, but otherwise than that, I do dig the costume. And there's a look at Johnny Storm in the package. He's packed in with quite a few things. So he's got a couple of flamed up hands, a couple of flame accessories, and then he's got what looks like the left powered up hand or arm for the Super SKrull and a right powered down arm. If I'm not mistaken, I can't really make it out, but obviously you'll need the completely powered up Human Torch from the first run of the Walgreens exclusive Fantastic Four figures if you want to have him flamed on. I think the head sculpt here looks pretty good, but again, these feet with the treads just look ridiculous to me. And there's a look at Sue in the package, and she's going to be packed in with the entire torso for the Super SKrull Build-A-Figure. She also has a pretty cool effect that is kind of highlighting her power set. You know, she can make force fields and move objects and stuff like that with her power. And I believe that Dwight said that her hair sculpt was different, but that the head sculpt was the same from the previous version. Don't quote me on that. You'd have to go back and listen to my roundtable interview with them from New York Comic Con. And once again, thrice, we've got these stupid feet with the treads. Other than that though, I do like the way she looks as well. Ben Grimm, The Thing, expect this package to be heavy. This is a massive chunk of plastic. If you never picked up the first Walgreens exclusive Thing, then you are in for quite a surprise. This is the same overall sculpt with a different head sculpt according to Dwight, and the coloring of his body is a little different as well. He's going to be packed in with both the heads to complete the Super SKrull Build-A-Figure. He's rocking the shorts with the waistband with the 4 emblem. Unfortunately, he does not have an extra set of hands like the original Walgreens version. I mean, you can swap parts, but again, the color scheme is slightly different. Still, this is going to be one of the standout figures from the wave just because of how massive he is, and I think Thing was one of their best figures last year. Side note, but related, I mentioned maybe like a month or so back that I wanted to do a comparative review video with all of the things of the past. And now that we have this information coming out and that we're going to be getting this wave very soon, I will be moving forward with that video. Hopefully this week it'll happen, so stay tuned for that. So Savage She-Hulk is kind of bittersweet to me. Well, first off, she's packed in with one powered up and one powered down arm to complete the Super SKrull Build-A-Figure. Then she has a couple of interchangeable hands, so she's got a couple fists and a couple of open hands, which is great. She's sweet because this is a great sculpt, and it's definitely a step up from the version that we received in the A-Force box set, which really didn't have any good articulation. It was just a horrible figure as far as the torso goes. Looks like they went in the right direction here and they stepped it up, but to me it would have made more sense for them to give us She-Hulk and her classic Fantastic Four costume with this wave, or for them to have done a classic look just on this particular buck, being that it is a new updated sculpt. So, you know, she looks pretty good, but I don't really care about this design too much. Still, it's one I'll pick up and you can't pass up if you want to complete the BAF. No doubt about it that Dr. Doom is the star of this wave. He's looking great in the package. I'm sure that a lot of mint on card collectors are going to be happy about this, and this is going to be one that's going to go up crazy on the secondary market. He's packed in with one of the legs to complete the Super SKrull Build-A-Figure. He has an interchangeable head with a different sort of hood. He's got a couple of interchangeable hands. When you remove the cloak, it reveals that he's got those little rocket boosters on his back, which is something that they showed us at the round table at New York Comic Con earlier this month. He looks great. Looks like he's shaping up to be the best 6-inch Doom that we've ever received. And it's so much that you can do with Doom in terms of toy photography. ACBA, I mean, he's shown up in so many different stories over the past 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And, you know, it's his classic look. He never changes up his look for the most part. So this is money. I'm excited to own this guy. Finally, that brings us to the BAF Super SKrull. This is one that a lot of collectors have been anticipating from Hasbro Marvel Legends. We did get a Super SKrull back in the Toy Biz days in the Fantastic Four Classics line, and then Hasbro used that same mold to give us a sort of Skrull soldier in the Return to Marvel Legends days. So if you were lucky enough to get the Fantastic Four Classics version, you had one sort of leader Skrull that was distinctly different from the others, and if you were able to pick up some of the smaller Marvel Select Skrulls, then you had a nice little mixture. So hopefully we on that path again. Hopefully they'll release some generic sort of soldiers, or maybe you might try to army build a Super SKrull here. I'd like to see some generic soldiers that are a little smaller than this particular sculpt. It's great that we have the effects with the powered up and powered down arms, and I really like the smiling head sculpt and the fact that you get two. So here's hoping that they do put out a soldier at some point. I'm gonna reserve all of my judgment for when I have everything in hand and can do some real comparisons, but I already see people complaining about the proportions on the head and neck and the arms and this and that. To me, he looks pretty damn good so far. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Oftentimes, you know, we complain, and then by the time we get it in hand, we're like, all right, this joint is actually pretty nice. So hopefully everything will work out. This has been quite some time, probably almost 15 minutes, so I'm gonna get up out of here, but stay tuned for some comparative reviews throughout this week, and hopefully next week that'll have to do with Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, being that those were the things that I chronicled here. All right, thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, peace.